Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Matt Taylor. Welcome to Spitball, and I'm here with my good buddy.
Kyle Amundsen.
And Kyle, I don't know if you know, but there's actually a shortage of masks. Have you heard about that?
I've got a couple of I've got a supply at home, but I'm told that the leather ones with the zippers and shit on them are not effective.
They're not?
No, apparently not.
Oh.
Did you have any ideas?
Well, I was sitting there on the YouTubes, and I was like, it worked during the Black Plague, so I figured I would just make a plague mask and go with that. So I think it's effective. The only problem with it is that it's a little uncomfortable actually. And that's nice if that's above that. The only problem is that you can't drink your
own urine?
No, your colloidal silver. Yeah, I can't drink my colloidal silver when I have the plague mask on. So I'm gonna have to come up with a solution for that. Maybe like a sippy backpack. This shit works though, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's the only thing that's been found 100%. Yeah, no, fuck. So a post actually got, I don't know if I deleted it or somebody else deleted it, but fortunately someone fucking deleted it, off the new group, because someone legitimately did put colloidal silver on there. That was their cure all.
And that stuff's not effective?
That was their answer to CB19.
Ooh. Well, I just wasted a whole bunch of money then. But I bought it from that preacher dude, so it's all right.
Yeah. And
went to a good cause.
You can probably still use it against werewolves.
Oh, well, that's good. And what about vampires? Like, I heard if you make it into like a spray, you can kind of mist them with it, and it fucks their eyes up. I don't know for sure. I saw it on, it was a documentary actually. It's called True Blood.
Yes.
Yeah, and it was on there, so I'm pretty sure that's accurate. 100%.
I am familiar with the show.
Yeah. So how's your week going?
It's been good. It's been just an ordinary week. Nothing out of the ordinary. Nothing at all. Just same old.
Yeah. Yeah. Not so much mine. It's been kind of a crazy week. I don't know if all of you guys know this or not, but there is there's a virus going around. Have you heard of it?
I don't watch much news.
I like to call it the 19. But yeah, it's been pretty nuts, man. What?
I was gonna make a 12 Monkeys joke, but yeah. Anyway,
that's a good reference.
All my
that was Brad Pitt. That was Brad Pitt's best role.
I think so.
Yeah,
he was pretty good in there. But he's just fucking good altogether.
I didn't even really actually like 12 Monkeys. But I loved Brad Pitt's role in it so much that I've watched it multiple times because I just thought he was great. But yeah, playing I think Brad Pitt is always great, but a lot of times he plays the same kind of dude. And playing a guy who's like got schizophrenia and he it was great. I thought he was fantastic in that. And I've known some people with some pretty severe schizophrenia, and he was pretty accurate. Yeah, so it's been a little nuts because everything's closed down. I'm now pretty much can only go to work to my actual office job. Very minimally just for necessity things, and then everything else I have to work from home. Bummer, but it kind of is. I work with a lot of young people, and I can have very minimal contact with them. So it's really changed a lot of fundamental things.
I, too, can have minimal contact with young people, but that is something completely
different. Yeah. But I've been relatively impressed with how, even though there's been some, crazy shit on Facebook and stuff, but people have been pretty controlled, pretty reasonable so far.
We all, of course we're going to run into stuff. We're going to read stuff that, that pisses us off. There's some real fucking, cretins out there.
Well, of course, yeah.
And it does aggravate me. I mean, I've there's been a couple of posts, when I see people like, fuck that, it only fucking kills old people, like I'll be fine. And then I think about my parents. We're about 80. My dad's 80. He's on medication that compromises his immune system, and he's diabetic. So basically, he's checking a bunch of boxes.
Right.
And when I see somebody like, that doesn't get the whole like, oh, it's not just about me thing, it makes me want to, test their, okay, you might survive that. You gonna survive this fucking right hook? Because I'm gonna fuck you up now. Like fucking that shit makes me like it. Like there's a very visceral response. It makes me, I'm very protective when it comes to my parents and stuff anyway, and it makes me fucking livid. But then I have to remember, like, this is just some fucking cousin fucker on on Facebook.
Right.
So calm down, Kyle. And I have been doing a really good job of being calm and rational lately.
I went to my vape shop the other day. To stock up on some Nick juice. And I said he said, man, you're buying a lot. And I said, yeah, well, probably gonna end up being quarantined, and I'm sure you guys are gonna be close. And he's like, oh no, that's not gonna happen. And I said, well, this is just a just in case, because if I run out of nicotine, people aren't gonna have to worry about the fucking coronavirus. Right. I'm gonna start killing some people.
And all these just in case, like there's just reasonable measures. I have yet to see any reactions that I thought, okay, except for the toilet paper.
Oh, Jesus.
Which so aside from Sharmageddon, I don't think that I've seen really any unreasonable responses. Now, I know that there's a lot of people out there that deem a lot of these responses unreasonable, but those people are usually their perceptions are painted by their own agendas.
Like, for example, like not being able to gather in a group more than 10 and closing down restaurants and stuff like that.
People are pissed off, like, oh, it's an infringement on our liberties.
Yeah.
Fucking grow up.
I mean, what's the old saying? Like, my liberty ends where your face begins. Is that the saying? I can swing. I think that's the saying. It's close to that, but the idea is that, like, I have liberty, but only until it starts to affect the people around me.
Absolutely.
So in this case, I don't see this as a violation of our liberty in any way, shape, or form. I kind of want people to live.
Yeah. I want, I'm not done being a nuisance. I'm not done disappointing my parents yet.
Right.
So,
right.
I'm going to need them to stick around for a while. So I am sorry if you're really, if you can't get that drink on, Tuesday night. Or any of the other horrible, I understand this is going to impact businesses and stuff, and there's going to, be a big shakeup in our economy and stuff.
That, honestly,
but human lives is the thing.
Right.
So, deal.
I agree that, like, obviously we want to try to protect human lives, and obviously even if businesses are going to shut down regardless of whether or not they're being told to by the government. I mean, it's going to happen anyway. But the economic impact of what happens during this is the thing that I think is going to have the most far-reaching consequences.
That's the one that's going to touch most of us. I'm out of work, Right. I mean, I'm out of work for the foreseeable,
Yep.
But you know what? It's increasing people's chances of living. And people think, and anyone that thinks that we don't have it around here, we do. There's a couple cases in Brainerd. There's a case that I know about in Pine River. And these people are coming into contact with lots of people before they get diagnosed.
Right.
So there's, so it's around, just sit back and watch, or better yet, make some preparations and, be ready to do something, be a good neighbor.
That's what I was thinking about.
God damn right.
That's what this thing still smells really bad, like contact cement. That's something that I was thinking about. Yeah, that's definitely something I was thinking about. I don't know what I was talking about. You coughed. I did see a
fucks
post.
people up.
I did see Chris Dunmeyer said you said I don't get why everybody's buying up all the toilet paper or something like that. And he said because every time somebody coughs, 5 people shit themselves. It really cracked me up. I don't get the whole toilet paper thing either. I was like, I mean, I've lived a long time without toilet paper. I was like really confused. Why are all the toilet paper shelves empty, but yet there's still just tons of coffee filters? I mean, coffee filters are cheaper than toilet paper. I mean, it's like there's a lot of, you can wipe your ass with a lot of things.
Like they must have a lot more women in the house than I do if they're that worried about going through that much toilet paper.
I don't know.
Because I still think women eat that shit.
Yeah.
But
I did create a meme. It's the first time I've actually created my own meme. But I found a picture of like a toilet paper mummy, and then I wrote on there, whatever, C19 ain't getting me, motherfucker, or something like that. It's kind of funny, but yeah, I just don't get it. And then I did see another post that, would it be inappropriate to toilet paper my boss's house right now or something like that? And I was like, that's pretty funny. Yeah.
Well, I saw the something else about how toilet papering somebody's house is a pretty impressive flex at this point.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was. Yeah, pretty impressive flex. Yeah, pretty cool. Yeah, so it's crazy. So one thing I did want to talk to you about that I thought was pretty interesting, and because you're kind of like a secret nice guy,
No. What I like to do is lull people into a false sense of security.
Yeah, it's bullshit. Yeah.
And then I get those motherfuckers.
It's something I've always thought was an interesting about you, because you don't look like just a big old teddy bear, or with a heart of gold or whatever. But you really deeply care about people in your community, and you started this Facebook group that was kind of like, what do you got a weird look on your face?
Well,
like you're pooping.
that was actually, that actually had selfish roots, man. I mean, my own,
right. You want to keep your parents alive.
Yeah.
And right. Just because something is selfish, everything is selfish, Kyle. And just because something is selfish doesn't mean it's not good.
Well, people are thanking me left and right lately, and I'm like, it's not like this is some, I get from this too. Like I get shit out of this. Sure. I get a couple of things out of this.
Here's the thing, is that, anybody could have done this. Anybody could have made a group and started networking a community together. They didn't, though. You did. And that's the thing.
Well, I had
Take the fucking compliment.
Thank you. I feel like I had the advantage of being, I wasn't even out in front on this. But after talking to our friend.
Yeah, that was we were a little bit out in front, which is kind of weird.
Just barely.
Just a day.
Yeah.
Just a day out in front, because we did our podcast 2 weeks ago now, and on that podcast we talked about a friend of ours who works at the University of Minnesota as an epidemiologist.
Well, that's just 1 week ago. A week ago today.
Was it?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, because I was thinking about, I had gotten a hold of her the day before about, because I was going to bail out on going to the parade, and I was like, am I being a big pussy?
When you take work out of the equation, days really get weird about how they flow. So, so we did that episode, and in it we talked about our friend who works at the University of Minnesota, who was an epidemiologist, and she kind of said, "This is fucking serious. Don't go to the parade. Don't da 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 da." And
and people were some people were treating me like I was being a goddamn
an alarmist.
Yeah. But then when I go up against Mr. fucking jerk off neckbeard, internet troll guy, when I stack what he knows up against our friend that is on Mike, damn it,
Osterholm, sure,
Mike Osterholm's team, I'm going to go Mike Ostrom is the go-to guy
Yeah.
for this stuff internationally, like the guy. So I've got somebody with access to him, somebody on a first name basis with him, somebody that works for him on his team. And I've got this fucking jerk off on social media. And I think that was not a tough decision. So,
Right.
you know, and then we talked about it. So I learned, you know, so we started learning a little bit. And, you know, and then I got, you know, and I was starting to get nervous about my parents.
Right.
You know, like, because she kind of put me at ease about, the baby.
Right.
It's not really ravaging, you know, it's not as dangerous. I'm sure it's still dangerous. But it's not as dangerous for children.
The mortality rate is much less.
But they carry it. They're apparently they you know, they might carry it like little like plague rats.
Yep.
That's
why I have a plague mask.
Yeah. And I started worrying about my folks. So then my worry about my folks got me thinking, what, you know, like, okay, so everybody's got the same issues that I do. You know, you've got loved ones that you know, that you worry about, and, you know, and if they're in those groups that could be, you know, potentially, you know, really hard hit, you start thinking about, wow, you know, all these people, like, and how overwhelmed, you know, the emergency and medical services could be. And I'm like, what about these people? You know,
Right.
like, if they're taking care of all the rest of us, who, like, they have the same lives and issues and stuff that we've got going on.
Right.
So if you've got, say, you know, you've got you've got an ER nurse, you know, she's like working doubles and shit. She's not going home. She's not seeing her family. She's got, you know, who's taking care of her family? Right. Yeah. I mean, you know, ideally, like, whatever, if she has a significant other at home, that's great. But, like, anyone that's ever tried to, like, you know, go down from like two, you know, like, just a working family and stuff, take that one person out of your day to day, and, you know, and then try to do all this without dragging the kids around and exposing
Right.
yourself and your family and stuff. Things like that, you know, I'm like, holy shit, who's going to look out for these guys? You know, like, well, they're taking care of us.
Right.
So I started talking to a couple people, you know, on Facebook. I know a lot of people. So I started talking to a couple people, and I was like, hey, is this a dumb idea? You know, and a couple of them were like, no, I love this idea. And
You're talking about the group.
yeah.
Yeah.
So then that, you know, that just, you know, it kind of took off from there.
It did, and it's been great. I mean, people are posting in there what they need. People are posting there what they're available to do, and, you know, like, if we're going to get through this with the least amount of pain and suffering, that's what it's going to take as community, and I think that's great.
I don't, you know, and you know, so, like, there's that selfish end of it. The other selfish thing that I get out of it is, for a minute there, I was getting pretty aggravated, like I mentioned, when I look at my Facebook, and, you know, I'm checking that stuff. I'm getting pissed off.
Right.
And now,
so you have like so it's a smaller group of people, and you can admin. So when somebody starts saying,
well, it's not smaller anymore.
Drink silver, well, it's smaller than Facebook.
Yeah.
You don't have to listen
Yeah.
to every
dipshit
knuckle
out there.
dragging
Yeah.
idiot out there. You can admin. So if somebody is saying stupid shit, you can say, well, homie, don't think
Yep.
so. Yeah.
Not good.
It is amazing how fast it's growing though.
But, like, one of the best parts is I went from, like, you know, getting aggravated every time I look at social media to being really pleasantly surprised and happy. You know, we don't give our friends and neighbors enough credit for what kind of people they are.
Oh.
You know, there's I mean, people that I don't agree on shit with, people that I'm mean to, like, and that, you know, that I talk shit about, that I argue with, you know, even some people that I don't even fucking like, have just come out of the woodwork. And some of these people are the most anxious to help other people.
Right.
I had, there's one dude, and my wife was, Christine was thinking about adding this guy to the group, and I had to tell her, you know, and she was going to have to add him because he blocked me a long time ago. like we go rounds. Not personally, I think personally he's wonderful. I find him hilarious. But we don't agree on shit. He's not always a great critical thinker. He's a bigot. Like there's a lot of things I don't like about this guy. But also I know this about him, and I had to tell her to not add him because he is legitimately one of those people that will give until there is nothing left of him.
Oh.
Like he is all in. Like and I'm like, for his own interest, I cannot add him to the group because he'll just give too much.
He'll end up with nothing. Right?
Yeah.
Right. I mean, that's an important thing when we think about as we're going into this. One thing I did want to say is that, like I was saying, that I've been pretty impressed with how little people have panicked and stuff so far, but also there haven't been a lot of people sick yet, and that has the tendency to change things.
Definitely.
But as we start getting into this and it starts to get a little bit more, fucking apocalyptic, remember the lesson they teach you when you get on the fucking airplane. Like, you don't want to put the mask on the person next to you until you have your own mask on, right? You don't want to so if you're in that situation, you want to make sure you're taking care of yourself first, because if you fucking die or run out of food and water or whatever it happens to be, you can't then continue to help the people that are in your community. So
sure, and that's one thing that we've had to touch on in the group, because it didn't take, that shit took right off.
Right.
It was less than 24 hours, and we had boots on the ground. People were doing stuff around the community, but we had to touch on that because the road to hell is paved with good intentions.
Right.
If you were making a bunch of deliveries, say,
and you had the virus,
that's a potential disaster right there.
right?
So we've had to go over that stuff, and I think we can't. We're gonna have to beat that to death. I think because everybody wants to help, not everybody. Yesterday I posted a thing about the precautions and the stuff that you want to do. Because I was like, man, should I be wearing a mask when I'm dropping stuff off and whatnot? But then I was corrected on that. Masks are for people with symptoms.
But here's, I believe that Mark said in his, going back to that. So we did the podcast, and then it was just like the next day, Mark Osterholm, is that right?
Mike.
Osterholm, yeah. Okay. He was on Joe Rogan and went into great depth about the coronavirus and really basically, pulled the alarm, button. So, but on there, he was talking about how a mask is not effective to not get coronavirus, or at least not a surgical mask. But it is effective to not give coronavirus. So it doesn't matter whether you're showing symptoms. I mean, other than the fact that you're not expelling stuff, like if you haven't shown symptoms yet, you're not likely to cough and sneeze on somebody, but you could still spit on them.
Well, see, I'm just going by what the medical are, because we've got medical staff on there and stuff.
Yeah.
But
that's what he said. He said it was effective in saying, not allowing
for sure
people to get it from you, but it's not going to help you not get it from people.
Yeah.
Because if somebody's
which is my primary focus, I could conceivably stay away from my folks,
Right.
I mean, now granted, I do some grocery shopping for them and take them to some appointments and stuff like that. But I've got, siblings and stuff that could take care of that stuff too. So if I got sick, I could stay away from them. So I was thinking, well, let's just be extra super safe. But yeah, I guess,
But here's another issue, is that there aren't enough masks.
Yes.
There's a huge mask shortage, even at Home Depot. I did some sanding yesterday, and I couldn't buy a mask at Home Depot, and I was like,
You should have said something. I got dust masks
well,
on.
I have them too. But I had to go back to the shop and dig around and find my dust masks. Yeah, I've been saving up over the years. Every time I go to Essentia Health, I'd always take half a dozen of them because they work great as like sanding masks.
You are the problem.
No, because the supply was there. God damn it. Plus I had a copay, so fuck them. Yeah, and that's an issue. So as people do get sick, but I mean, really, if you are showing symptoms, you shouldn't have contact with anybody. Like
No,
no contact period. So, yeah, it's an interesting issue though. I actually am actually another thing about the whole mask thing is even if it doesn't help, it kind of is saying, I accept that this is a thing. So that's why I pretty much am not leaving the house without the plague mask. So it's just the way it goes.
Hey, I don't know why you would. I think it's dope anyway, man.
Right.
But yeah,
and I have it packed, like the inside of it's all packed with like different like garlic and then basically colloidal silvers just covers everything. It's got that all.
It sounds like
is that even how you say it? Colloidal.
I have no clue.
Hiatal.
I don't even really know what that shit is for.
Well, it's for killing vampires or at least burning their eyes and yeah. It's not very tasty though. It's really not.
Oh,
it's got kind of a heavy metal taste.
But yeah, so my Facebook's a lot happier now, because I see people doing like wonderful stuff.
Yeah.
We had and not surprisingly, a couple of the people that were most, that are all in, were people that have just been all in, basically for their lives.
Right.
A couple, some of our veteran friends.
Yeah.
My buddy Chris Eastman, and Josh Carter. And Michael Sinowski is like one of my son's best friends. Practically grew up at my place.
Yeah.
When he was a kid. He's out of the Marine Corps now. But these guys are like, anything, let me know. Like I'm in.
Right.
And I thought about them because I had there was a lady that mentioned, because of people that have gotten ripped off in like business situations and stuff like that, answering ads and stuff on Facebook.
Right.
There was a lady there was a lady was like advising everyone to use caution when meeting people and stuff like that. Absolutely legit. But I told her, I'm like, if it ever, if it ever comes down to it, if people start getting weird, I've got some guys, like some guys that are trained and legit, and they will, they will provide security.
I have a whole gym full that's out of training right now. So we even closed the gym down, or everybody did, but yeah, makes sense. But yeah, those guys could use a workout right now. So I'll give you some numbers. Yeah, that's crazy.
But I mean, it's been a beautiful thing.
Yeah,
it's been a beautiful thing.
I'm just hoping that we can continue this sense of, we're all in it together, community. Is that your fucking phone?
No.
Well, shut that damn thing off. That's not mine. Because I silenced my phone.
I silenced mine too, even though that was not on.
Oh, well, whatever. I just hope that we can continue to like have this sense of community, community at a distance, and still like remain all in it together, even when it starts to get shittier. Which, guys, it's gonna get shittier. Like, hopefully not as shitty as it could be, but people haven't really started getting sick yet. And once that starts happening, it's just going to be worse. So you're going to have to prepare for the storm.
And, and rely on your neighbors and stuff. If you, not necessarily rely on your neighbors, but, know that your neighbors are there to help and maybe, rely on each other. That whole, the community thing has been, so far so good, and we haven't been tested yet,
right? That's what I'm saying, right?
For sure.
So like, it's pretty easy for everybody to be all kumbaya in the beginning when we still have enough of everything and people aren't dying. It gets much, much harder once the shit starts hitting the fan. And I think we have a pretty solid community and a lot of good people, and I think that will be okay. But I hope that's true. I hope
Well, and one of the biggest assets that I bring to this group is the number of times that I've seen the Road Warrior.
Right.
So, if things do get weird,
right.
Like I've said before, I am not shy about stepping in to become the Ayatollah of rock and roll.
Yeah. I've been working on your mask, so.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So, one interesting thing about this whole coronavirus outbreak deal is that I just haven't given a shit about the fucking political race since then. It was like a switch was flipped, and I was just like, I don't fucking care.
Dude, I've been seeing people like try to politicize it and, and just, rant and rave and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, I got you. I heard that, that's cool. But I look at some of them and I'm like, fuck me. Is that the way people see me when I do that shit? Because it's appalling. Right. And I'm just like, you're a fucking idiot, man, now clearly, obviously some people think about that, think that when they see my stuff on there. But holy shit. I'm with you 100%.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
I just don't care anymore. Yep. I mean, just like the thing is the repercussions of the economy and all of the things that are going to go along with this situation they're going to be really big and deep and hard, and it just like, honestly, I just don't think it matters who our president is at that point. Well,
I don't know. I mean, like the most political that I've got when I didn't even, when I just passed on it, I saw like a list of the president's quotes on the subject.
Oh,
and
I'm not
of
saying
course
he's not a fucking imbecile.
Yeah, he's a fucking imbecile.
But the one thing I will say though is, at least finally, he's really surrounded himself with.
Yes, I was watching the press conference yesterday.
I don't even think that there's really a choice at this point.
Yeah,
but the people that he had with him at the press conference, those are like the best people in the world. They're like the ones that are like, they were the best people in America anyway. They know the shit. So that, and it's pretty hard for Trump to tell anybody bad news.
Last week, it's,
he just hates it. It just drives him crazy. He always tries to put like the silver lining on it.
Well, hard to own up to shit too. Now that you're on stage with all those people, are you going to take some responsibility for,
I don't think he did. But,
no, fuck no, not a chance. But that's not their
thing. At least
thing.
he had the right people on the stage.
Yeah, and if you don't think that was one thing that I. He didn't double down on on his bad decisions or anything like that. Right. He appears to be all in, and he is surrounding himself with the right people and stuff. So I mean, whatever. I don't give a fuck if he mishandled it first. He's doing. The response is appropriate right now.
Yeah.
So I'm good. I'm okay with Mr. President on that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. I agree. And it has been kind of a relief because I was starting to get a little tied up in the whole Sanders Biden thing, and I'm like, oh, it don't matter, the world's ending. It's like the thing. And it's really weird because Americans are so much like that. When we get so fucking bent out of shape when I don't know, our favorite television show gets canceled. No, that's actually pretty fucking serious. That's not something to fuck around with. But when you're actually facing an existential threat, it does kind of put some things into perspective. I think we bitch about a lot of things that are maybe not that important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Agreed.
Yeah.
And
the safety of friends and family seems to maybe be a little more important than some of the other things.
Depends on your friends and family.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm going to leave it.
Speaking of safety and friends and family, that's another thing, that whole, like I said, people have been thanking me left and right and stuff like that, and I'm like, okay, I haven't done anything. Like I know people that like, I have friends that go on like mission trips and stuff, and do for other people like as a way of life without it being faced with a major catastrophe. Like, so that's, I that kind of shit.
Right.
But the other, like, so yesterday, as I was setting up my shotgun in cruiser mode, for, I love my Mossberg and it's ideal for home defense, and now like it's set up. But I'm like,
So you did go dust it off?
fuck yeah,
Right.
absolutely,
And it makes sense. I mean,
Yeah.
it makes. I did too. I went and got all my guns. I don't have that many guns, but I got my guns and like cleaned them and set them up and made sure I had the correct ammunition for all of them, and then got them all locked up and and stuff. And it felt a little grody. Like I didn't, and I love guns, but it felt like I was getting guns ready to kill people, which is a little bit different, right? And I know there's a difference, but it's like, so there was some part of me that felt like a little gross doing it. Oh, actually, gross isn't the right word. I felt ashamed of myself. Okay, I'm cleaning my guns, and I'm also kind of having fun because I'm fucking getting the ammunition all ready and putting it in the little things.
Is that why you felt like ashamed of yourself?
That's why I felt ashamed, because I was kind of having fun
I had a
doing
raging erection.
So I got it all set up, got it all locked away, and then I felt better. I felt prepared. I felt like I did something that like, I don't want it to come to that, but I also don't want it. But what I really don't want is it to come to that and then not be prepared for it.
Yeah. I felt, I didn't experience any, like, I didn't struggle with it. I didn't, I didn't feel bad. I kind of felt more like in the movies when that guy's like digging through the burnt remains of his house and he pulls that box out and he opens it up and there's 6 guns. I should see a therapist.
You might want to.
But it was kind of awesome. But then I start fucking around with my shotgun, and I'm like, I need some accessories. And I start I'm like, well, okay, I need this, because I watch, that's another thing that's something else that I do watch on YouTube. I watch a lot of gun stuff. And
I never do.
And that's I love shotguns. Now I'm thinking about another shotgun, and I'm thinking about what I'm going to do with this shotgun.
Well, I should have bought it before the fucking thing, because god damn it. It's crazy how, just going to the ammunition section at Fleet Farm, I was like, oh, fuck, like it was crawling with people. Like, it was crazy. Yeah. And man, Fleet Farm is the worst fucking organization, especially of their shotgun shells. It is like ridiculous.
Yeah, I bought ammo there before.
I spent about an hour just reading every box because I could not find what I was looking for.
Not a lot of at least the couple of times that I've shopped for ammo in there. There's a woman that works there with fantastic product knowledge. There are also some younger guys that work there that don't know what the fuck.
There was a line to get to the person. That wasn't a possibility. You wouldn't have been able to talk. It was crazy busy just in that not just in that section. It was pretty busy everywhere. But it sucks because they group all the shotgun ammunition by brand. I don't give a fuck what brand it is. I'm looking for slugs, baby. I just don't get it.
Buying ammo at places like that makes me appreciate like a lot of my friends. I'll call them my gun nut friends, like people that are more enthusiastic about shooting than I am. Because I've got all kinds of friends that it was that can clue you into like here was one, like, what size buckshot do I want for shooting inside my house? Stuff like that. Yeah,
0.00.
well, like some buckshot, one of the primary things about using a shotgun, for home defense, is because it's penetration. You're not shooting through your whole fucking house and riddling your family with bullets.
Right. Right. You shoot with a deer rifle.
So you need to be
It's
careful.
a weird conversation, but yeah, you shoot somebody with you shoot with a deer rifle. That bullet is going to continue to go, but you shoot with a shotgun, it's gonna stop.
Yeah, then at the same time you're like, well, I want more than bird shot, so you have to be careful what kind of buckshot you use and
Double lot. Come on, it's double lot buckshot. That's what you need.
Do it.
And
But yeah, anyway, let's stop killing. We're not. Let's stop talking about killing people.
But if you do, don't waste me. No, I'm just kidding.
That's also true.
I may have mentioned that before, but Peyton one time asked me, that fucking is driving me nuts. That is not me.
Not me.
So about a long time ago, Peyton and I were talking about zombie apocalypse or whatever. And he asked me if I killed somebody, if I would eat them. And I said, how far into this are we?
Right.
And he's like, early on, like week 1. And I was like, no, I wouldn't eat them at week 1. But I'd definitely butcher them.
Right. I wouldn't eat them at week 1 either. But I might keep them in the freezer till week 7.
Yeah, butcher them and it's meat.
I mean, I know it's a cultural taboo and stuff, but let's face it. Fuck. Are you kidding? If I come over to your house and you're serving fucking people, I'm going to keep an eye on you, but I'm going to try it.
So we've digressed from killing people to now eating people.
Right. Hey, man, like I said, I watched The Road Warrior so many times and stuff.
Yeah, I've read so many books, so many post-apocalyptic books that it's like crazy.
No, did you read The Road?
No.
Okay.
The movie was fucking horrible.
Well, actually, the movie was fucking great.
I couldn't even get through it. I mean,
but it was.
I'm not
grim
saying
as fucking really disturbing.
Right. I'm not saying it was bad. I was saying it was fucking horrible, and I was like, I can't do this. Like, no, I want to live.
Yeah, it was tough, man. Yeah, I mean, such a good movie, but, whew, yeah, some shit just. I'm a little too sensitive for some stuff. Man.
Yeah. No, I kind of like my post-apocalyptic to be kind of on the upbeat side.
Right.
There was actually
Apocalypse.
If you want a good book recommendation about like the post-apocalyptic book recommendation, there's this one called Odd Billy Todd, I think. Odd Billy Todd. It's close enough to that for you to find, and it's a really cool book about this guy. He's like, whatever, 26 or something, but he's slow, right?
I think you mentioned this.
Yeah,
before.
and he's got like a learning disability, and he's kind of slow, and he has like this, especially if you listen to it on Audible, the narrator is just fantastic. He's got a little bit of a Southern accent, and it's really great.
Is he kind of a savant when it comes to killing?
Yes. He's he kind of lacks, he's incredibly pragmatic, but partially because he doesn't have like the same like moral taboos.
He doesn't make the same connections that we.
But he would the people he loves, he would do anything for. But I mean, if you're on the other side, but they go into about, it's not, I mean, it's a really good book, but I mean, he's making fucking napalm and shit. And there's like these Nazis trying to kill it. I loved it. It's one of my favorite post-apocalyptic books. So if you want to, and actually it has kind of a positive ending. So if you want something chipper, kind of a chipper end of times, that's good. See, I like it. Like, I want my end of times to be like the REM end of times,
Yeah.
with that upbeat,
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
All right.
What do you got on your list? I know you had some things you wanted to talk about. And like, I know everybody's going to be having some extra time. So if I were going to have some extra time, what would I want to do?
I was thinking about that. We should maybe, toss around a couple of recommendations.
Yeah.
I because like a lot of this stuff, oddly enough, and I hope that I get back to my same, like, like hatefulness and all that once this is over with. But a lot of this shit, like some of this stuff is like political, or at least like kind of like philosophically driven. And as I look at the list, don't give a fuck.
Right. No, it's kind of liberating.
Yeah, it's not really my thing. I got bigger fish to fucking fry right now than
Right.
than the shit that I've got on this list.
That is one thing that is going to be interesting, because when this first came up, I said I was at 9th Street talking to Aaron Lewis and Dr. Gibbons. I've learned a bunch about Gibbons monkeys, by the way. They're actually pretty smart. They can do economics. They can do. You can train them to use like money, and they can do. I've been listening to this. Oh, I'm gonna. Fuck, I'm gonna talk about it now. Freakonomics. I gotta talk about Freakonomics. It's a podcast. I really enjoy it, and you have time on your hands. Like, it's really good. But they were actually talking about Gibbons monkeys on there, and it was cool. Okay, so I was talking to them about this early on, and I was saying, this is probably not the best time for this to happen. Not like there's ever a good time for a fucking like plague to hit us, but we are in a very like intense, political conflict right now. And how much is it going to take for the straw house we built to like go up? I feel like we like built this straw house and everybody's just sitting around fucking doing bong hits on, and it's only a matter of time. On the other hand, like, you remember after 9/11, how like it would like when tragedy strikes, people have the tendency to like put their differences aside, and I think that this is a situation that could also be that situation. And
if they can't,
right,
that's kind of telling,
right?
Like it really like.
Well,
you look at these people and you're like, you that motherfucker, like it's.
Yeah, but I do think that that's a possible positive that could come out of this, is that we could learn, or we could again like kind of like come together as a country.
Yeah, and and hopefully we're more prepared for the next big,
Well, as soon as this is over, we're gonna go right back to being dumb fucking gluttonous assholes that hate each other. But let's live in the bliss.
And Vanderpump Rules will still be on TV.
So
fucking show.
So I agree with you. Like I said, I couldn't even. I tried to like. I never watched the debates because it's a lot of fucking time and energy. But I did. I usually do go on YouTube and like look at the highlights. And I tried, and I was like, I don't care. I mean, I don't really care.
Yeah, it's just. I mean, and it's not that it's fuck, by November, I'll be that fucking same rabid libtard that I've always been.
I don't know. I mean,
maybe,
but they're saying that this could last pretty easily into August. So like we'll see. We'll see what happens.
November's after August.
I actually just learned the order of the months, but not very long.
But yeah, summer. We're heading to some uncharted territory. This is weird.
Yeah, but at least it's summer. Dude, this would be so much worse if this hit in fucking, early December though.
Yeah.
And people are fucking being like locked down when you can't go outside, you can't do anything. Oof.
Right?
Not good.
I think fucking being with your family is brutal, just like spending Christmas with them. Jesus, what if you got to...
Right.
Oh, my God.
Oh, wait. Maybe you wouldn't have had to spend Christmas with them. Could have been good. So, if...
They're the fucking Donner...
If...
The Donner Christmas special.
I were going to have a bunch of time on my hands because I was going to lock myself in my heavily fortified basement, crying myself to sleep on my huge pillow. No, I'm just kidding. What would you recommend I watch?
I recommend you get HBO. There's a lot of good stuff out there right now, but HBO, like, of course, like, I let it stack up. I got rid of my HBO as soon as like Game of Thrones was over.
Right.
And then they put out a series, and then they put out another series, and they put out another series.
And you're like, that looks good, but I'm not going to buy it.
Yep.
And then I'm going to buy it and binge.
I bided my time. And HBO has some great shit on there right now.
So what's the one you were talking about?
Well, I watched that that Stephen King story.
Oh, yep. You
The
mentioned
one that
that
I
last
recommended
week
to
or
you.
the other week.
Yeah, The Outsider,
Okay.
and that shit is great. I
Really?
really enjoyed it.
Huh.
Really enjoyed it. And there's like 9 episodes of that. Fucking
And
good stuff.
that's 9 episodes and done, or is it?
No,
they're gonna come back.
No. 9 episode and cliffhanger,
Fucking assholes.
right? But I mean, bring me more. It's really good. Like I thought it was really well done, pretty smart. But yeah, just good shit, man. And I'm not, I'm not like whatever. I've enjoyed some Stephen King, but I'm not like on his dick like a lot of, I mean, I know you love Stephen King.
I've sucked his dick.
Well, I wouldn't say his dick, but no, that was great. And then I watched The Watchmen.
Oh, that's what you were gonna mention. Yeah.
So you remember the movie The Watchmen?
No.
No, you don't.
Mm-mm.
Okay, well, it was a superhero movie, and this isn't like The Watchmen, like the series is not a superhero series, but there are like some of the characters are superheroes, and it happens and it functions in a a world of very like low powered / no powered supers.
Okay.
But then you've got Dr. Manhattan, who is basically a god. And it's alternate history, stuff like that. Like Dr. Manhattan wins the Vietnam War. I'm
trying. I think I did see The Watchmen, but back it's
Dr. Manhattan's a big blue guy. Like,
I got nothing.
yeah. Anyway,
Do I have to watch The Watchmen to watch this series?
not at all. In fact, that will only hinder you.
Oh, okay, yeah. 'Cause I don't
Now,
know
if you want to go ahead and do a little homework and find out about that like universe and stuff, that's great.
no, I'm good.
That's what
I don't do research.
Christine liked it, and she didn't know shit about it until because they explain stuff slowly. Like it starts off kind of it's like a little like I can see where some people might struggle with it because you're like, what the fuck are they talking about? And then but they piece shit together for you as you go, like a good, like any good story. And like that, they did a great job with the cast. HBO really does their original series right.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Most of them have been great. Oh, yeah, we were trying to think of ones we didn't like last week or last time. There's very few.
Although going through the list, I was like, that doesn't look like something that I'd watch. And
No,
stuff. But there are a lot.
There are a lot of
fucking
ones
good
that I'm
ones.
not gonna watch.
Yeah.
But like the ones I did watch, I usually like.
Yeah. I mean, and I people that were familiar with The Watchmen when the movie came out, a lot of people didn't like it. It's way grittier than regular superhero stuff. It's a lot more like The Boys.
The Boys is great. Season 2 is supposed to come out pretty soon, right?
I'm gonna keep track of that one, but I do like it. But yeah, so they improved on. I feel like they improved on everything. There's some fucking phenomenal actors in there. So the acting is better, the story is better. Dr. Manhattan's dick's better. You'll see. Yeah. So The Watchmen is great. Really enjoyed that. The Watchmen is great.
And then Westworld is also on HBO.
I cannot. So that I'm gonna have to watch by myself because Christine has not watched the first 2 seasons.
Yeah, she'd be completely lost.
So yeah, and this one now isn't. Did you see some of it?
No.
Oh, that's right. You don't have HBO yet.
No, I don't have HBO, and I won't watch the preview. I saw a picture of the preview, and then I went, no. All I saw is, I can't remember her name, but the chick walking in a a room with a bunch of cubes, and I was like, no, won't watch. But yeah, I did really like it. I was watching a show the other day with the kids here, and it was I think it's called Beyond the Universe, and it's a really cool. I'm not even recommending it, but it is really cool. It's a kind of like a musical, but it's all Beatles songs. But I was for the life of me, I couldn't place the main chick in it. And then
from True Blood?
She's from Westworld.
Westworld.
Yeah.
Oh, is that the? Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. She's from Westworld, and I was like, but she, that was 10, 15 years ago, however long ago that movie came out. And I was like, who the fuck is that? I know who that is. And I couldn't figure it out. And partially is because she's always singing. I didn't really hear her voice. But anyway, yeah, she's pretty awesome.
Ooh, you know what else I found on HBO?
What's that?
Kind of a like an improved and extended edition of Aliens.
Oh, I was never a big Aliens fan.
Man, see, I liked Alien was great, but Aliens with the Continental Marines and shit like that was a way more like action-y, that was fucking awesome. I love that one.
I remember like a half a dozen iconic moments from Aliens, like when the alien jumped out of the guy's chest, the dude on the, doing that with the knife, and when you got to see her boobs.
Game over, man.
That was it.
Bill Paxton's
And did you
character
actually
is
get to see her
brilliant.
boobs, or was she just wearing like a muscle shirt?
Dude, it was Sigourney Weaver. Nobody wants to see her tits.
I was a kid. Oh, fucking any tits or tits.
You know.
So, but they got extended edition version.
Yeah.
With different characters.
It's
or
like
different...
fucking 2.5 hours long. And it's.
I have heard that the extended edition, like Blu-ray or whatever, was actually like worth watching because it had like a whole bunch of extra shit.
It's great. I haven't finished it yet. I'm like halfway through it, but I'm like, oh, awesome.
Yeah, I just never was really that into it. I don't know why. So is Christine still watching Picard with you?
No.
Oh,
no.
She gave up.
She got frustrated because she doesn't know anything about that universe.
So it's pretty tough.
Yeah.
And I thought it would be. So I can see why she could have like dug the first episode without much reference, but they're starting to get into the minutia of.
Yeah, I think if you were going to start somebody off on Star Trek,
Next Generation, I think.
You know what? Enterprise.
The
first, the earliest one, chronologically. I think that's the one with Scott Bakula or whatever.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
You didn't like that? I like that one a
Never.
lot.
No, I watched like half a dozen episodes and just gave up on it.
Oh, really? I enjoyed that a lot. And Katie Mack, her uncle was in that one. He played a bad guy and shit like that on several episodes, and it was cool.
Yeah, I think, and really, I could probably go through the Next Generation and pull out I don't know how many episodes they made of the entire thing, but you don't need them all. You could skip 40% of them.
I'd like to skip all
Not
the
to say
episodes
that
with
they
Q.
weren't. Yeah, you don't need those. Yeah.
There was that show, that was such a good show, but that's definitely one that I don't think has a lot high rewatch value for me. I really liked it.
Yeah,
but
I'm
I
talking
don't
about
think
showing it to somebody else. Though,
Yeah.
to give them this is.
I was just saying
because you
that,
need to
for me, I
know
couldn't
certain
rewatch
things.
those
You
things.
could probably just watch the movies.
You do that. Well, of course, some of the movies are just shit. But so many of
the
them.
next
are really
gen
good.
movies were great.
Well, I like the first. I liked. Well, especially fucking Wrath of Khan and the Search for Spock.
Wrath of Khan was pretty great.
One of the in my mind, Wrath of Khan is one of the greatest science fiction movies.
What
ever
was the one where they had to go back in time to get the whales?
You know what? Damn it! I'd even watch that.
What was that one? That was Journey
that the Voyage Home or
Voyage
something?
Home. Yeah, pretty corny one.
Corny as
But
shit.
I think that's the one where you will always be my friend.
Oh no, that was
Search for
was
Spock?
Wrath of Khan.
Or Wrath of Khan? Okay.
Yeah, and
I thought it was in that one.
Wrath of Khan and Search for Spock were they just run together. They're like one big movie. But man, that was a touching
Yeah, that's great.
scene. And,
Yeah.
And now we're touching. But
No, we're not touching.
no, we don't
No
do that.
touching.
Not in this day and age.
So I don't know. Yeah. What else? Anything else?
Yeah.
Really good shows I should be thinking about? You should make a recommendations list for me. 'Cause
Yeah,
I might have some time.
We should, maybe. Well, we're gonna have some time on our hands. Maybe we throw up a couple of little videos, just that we make recommending stuff, and
Yeah.
I don't know. We're just spitballing here, just ideas.
I did enjoy your little update not, that we were joking. You were joking. I was 100% dead serious.
I should address
that. I actually don't know shit about shit. So, yeah. So tell us. Right?
Knowing shit is not what we do. We collect smart people for a reason because we're fucking not it. But
I can't touch my face.
I did. I mentioned. I went off on a little tangent last episode. I mentioned a conspiracy theory type angle, and son of a bitch, I went and I posted a short video to follow that up. Conspiracy theories are just fun. They're not, they're not real world shit. I have friends that take that shit too seriously, and they're fucking weirdos. Do I love them? Yes. Are they weirdos? Hell yes.
Not the flat Earth though. That's not a conspiracy theory. That's a conspiracy fact.
Right.
All right.
What happened to the dinosaurs? They ran off the edge of the fucking Earth.
Of course they did.
They saw us coming with our coronaviruses and fucking.
Our friend from the U of M.
Reality TV.
Gave smacked me in the pee-pee on that one. She was like, Matthew, no. And I was like, I just thought it was fun. She's like, that shit does not help anyone. And it's also completely not true. She said that in all of the evidence is, links.
An animal.
It goes from an animal. There's just no evidence that's been engineered. And the truth is, and as did Mike.
Yeah.
Is that his name?
Osterholm.
Yeah. He mentioned on Joe Rogan that it's not even unlikely that this was, an engineered virus. It's impossible because we're not that good at it.
It's too clever.
Yeah, it's too good. Now, one thing we brought up was that it's really a convenient virus as far as it goes for China, which it is true. I mean, if you weren't going to design a virus, it's hard to get any luckier than that. As sad as it is to say, because there's still a whole bunch of people that are going to die over there. But the Chinese government is, they're looking at this situation where they have a whole bunch of old people. But again, not possible because we're just not that good at doing it yet. So, not it. So don't take us that seriously. We're a couple of fucking idiots.
Look at us, for fuck's sake. Are you kidding me? Listen to us for 5 minutes, you'll be like, "Oh no, I don't want to take these."
So I wanted to talk about speaking. This all ties together, but I was listening to a Joe Rogan, and he had this guy on there who runs a podcast called Freakonomics, and the guy is a economist, and he wrote a book with another economist called Freakonomics, and now they started this podcast. It's been around for 10 years, and they do basically an episode a week. And they're about hour-long episodes. They interview experts on a whole pile of subjects. And he was really fun on Joe Rogan. Didn't learn anything about him because he interviewed Joe Rogan. Like, Joe Rogan lost control of the interview. You know what I mean? And it's like, this fucking guy is a really excellent interviewer. And Joe would try to kind of turn it back to him, and he would answer the question, and then he'd turn it right back on Joe, and Joe just couldn't help himself and fucking was telling his whole life story. And I was like, this guy's a wizard at like interviewing and or having a conversation. But I mean, he really was like great, interesting follow-up questions. Anyway, I was like, I'm gonna check this fucking Freakonomics podcast out. And the first one I listened to was an episode saying that was called like, does anyone actually know what socialism is? And it was really interesting. And like, they basically talked to all these, economic experts across the world and political experts. And do you want some silver? No, you're all right. Yeah, it was really interesting. And then he had mentioned in that episode that they had done an episode prior to that about Andrew Yang. And I don't know anything about Andrew Yang. I knew he was Asian, and I knew that he was opposed to circumcision. Those are the two things I knew about him. And I knew he was opposed to circumcision because I was listening to a Joe Rogan, and Joe Rogan was interviewing some lady who was a journalist who was working on the Yang gang. That's what they called it. They like clever names. And
You've got to be able to work Wang in there somewhere.
she was a journalist, and she was like, yeah, I really like him as a candidate. He's got some wacky ideas, though. Wrong thing to say to Joe. And she's like, he's really obsessed with circumcision and getting rid of circumcision. And Joe's like, you think that's a fucking wacky idea? And he goes off for 20 minutes on, and he keeps, I'm sure he was high in this interview. And I love Joe, but when he gets really high, I sometimes have a hard time continuing, staying with him. But he just kept going, they chop babies' penises off, you don't want to chop a dick. Don't chop dicks. You got to stop chopping dicks. It was a great little clip. He's 100% right. I mean, it's an elective surgery that we're doing to babies for no reason, and it doesn't have any health benefits, and it's not arguable. People have opinions about it, but they're opinions. The medical information is solid. What?
I find circumcised penises more aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah. Good reason to chop a wiener off. And I think if you find them more aesthetically pleasing, great. But get it chopped off when you're 20. Anyway, so I want mine back. I want my foreskin back. I'm pissed. Anyway, so let me get through this.
We'll get you an infinity scarf instead.
I was very upset. No, I can't wear a fucking infinity scarf. It's a choking hazard. Not like I'm going to put it down my throat, but I'm going to get fucking choked out. Why would you put that thing? It doesn't have an end.
You're lucky you...
I don't even wear a scarf.
You're lucky you guys don't choke each other by the foreskin.
That's true.
I mean, not that there's
Very
anything
often.
wrong with that.
Very often. Okay. So, sorry. So that's all I knew about Andrew Yang. So I went and I listened to this podcast, and it was called who the heck is this guy running for president or something like that. How did I not know about Andrew Yang? He's super he was a super awesome candidate. Didn't know shit about him.
I like that he was young and had
44 years old.
Young and fresh,
Yeah, 44. Really accomplished in his life. Did a bunch of different, things. But has some really interesting novel political ideas that and has really good plans on how to institute them. He was a candidate I really should have looked at a lot more closely. Yeah. But
turns out a lot of them are.
I do think that he's not done. I mean, he had a pretty good showing. He's only 44.
Yeah.
He's got a pile of money.
As we know, he can continue to run for another
he could go
70 years.
7 or 8 more, presidential campaigns. So it's really interesting. But anyway, the show is called Freakonomics. Freakonomics Radio, and on Stitcher they have the entire 10-year catalog, and I've been listening to quite a few of them, and they're really good. They're like I said, they're less than an hour, and they interview experts, really well put together, kind of reminiscent of a Radio Labs, but yeah, very much like yourself. Yeah. So that would be my recommendation is to watch your HBO and whatever, but you got to clean the house and stuff like that. Put on those headphones and listen to some Freakonomics or Odd Billy Todd.
Yeah, my recommendation. My son's girlfriend, she's got a little boy. She just sent home a box full of books for Boo Boo. So I think if I've got time on my hands, I'm gonna take those books and I'm gonna dump all those motherfuckers out on the floor and let him just play around with them, tear them up and shit like that while I watch Netflix.
Yeah, that's a good idea. When they say that at a young age, a child needs to ingest language,
Yes.
That's not what they're talking about. It's a totally different thing. Yeah, when I was a kid, we used to joke about it's bad. We used to joke about how we were we'd roll joints with National Geographics because that's what we had for paper, and we were like, oh, I'm getting so much smarter. So National Geographic's like we were getting it through osmosis, which we weren't.
Can you really use a page like that as rolling paper?
Yeah, I'm sure it's fucking horrible for you though.
Bah.
Because it's got like that glossy shit on it. Can't be good. But yeah, absolutely you can. You can even roll dried banana peel in it and get a really, really bad headache and not high. Because that's all that shit does for you. Yeah. Yeah, fuck, you can roll with, you can use that shit for toilet paper. Yeah. I mean, it's not very good or effective.
Well, shit, man.
Yeah, I think that's about it, huh?
Yeah, I don't really have much. I guess it's kind of a short one.
That's okay. Well, we always say we're going to do a short one, and then it's always 5 hours long.
Yeah.
We go into the time warp. But, guys, seriously, all joking aside, stay safe out there. You know, follow the protocols. Wash your damn hands. You know, stay away from groups of people. You know, and just be safe.
Yeah, man. You know, and be cool. Yeah. Just be cool. Try to be a decent neighbor and shit, and you know, yeah. That's
all
it.
Right. Party on, dude. All right. Well, we will see you guys. Oh no! One more thing. I touched you. God damn it! I watched. Help me. What did I watch? Movie.
Not there's anything wrong with that.
Won't You Be My Maybe?
You did.
Fuck, that's a good movie.
Fucking A, man.
So
Always Be My Maybe.
Always Be My Maybe.
Netflix. It's a Netflix original.
It made, because I said party on, dude, and then I was like Keanu Reeves. Won't You Be My Maybe?
Did Meta watch it?
Yes.
You guys watched it together?
Loved it.
Did she love it? Okay.
And
I thought you guys.
She was a little resistant at first, and I offered her because we had time. And usually we don't have very much time.
Sure.
But I was like, it's like 8 o'clock, you know, so like we could watch a movie. And she's like, okay, what movie would you want to watch? So let me look, and I'll give you a couple options. So I gave her that one, and then 1917 is the other one that I wanted to watch.
Yes.
Have you watched it yet?
I still want to see that.
I haven't seen it either. I'm probably going to watch that one alone, though, because it's you know, it's war, it's gritty, you know, whatever. And then I offered her that, and then Won't You Be My Maybe? At first, she's a little resistant to the Won't You Be My Maybe one because she thought she had seen a preview, but apparently she was thinking about a different movie, and we both just really, really loved it. There's so many things about it that I loved, but one of them is that it's two Asian kids, or two Asian people. Actually, they end up growing up.
They're both from Korean families.
Actually, no. Okay. He's Korean, and she is. They never actually say, but. The mom says to her something to the extent of, you know, don't you, something to the extent that early in that, like, it's too bad you're not Korean, essentially.
Okay.
But
I thought they were both
it was really interesting. But it was two Asian people, and then it kind of follows them through their life. And I don't want to give anything away because it's really worth watching. But it's a really good snapshot. I don't know. How the fuck would I know, right? I mean, I thought Gran Torino was a really good snapshot of the Hmong community, but this is it seemed to me kind of authentically American Asian, without preachily American Asian. But it was all there, but it wasn't like in your face. It was really neat. I really enjoyed that part. But the star of the thing.
Those two are both so fucking funny.
Great. They were great. I've never seen either one of them before.
I've seen him before. That was the first time I'd seen her in anything.
Yeah, but they were
so
fantastic.
Funny.
Really good. And I mean, you wanted them to make it.
And how fucking hilarious is Keanu Reeves as
himself.
himself.
I'm saying. So, and I don't even want to ruin that for you because I knew he was going to be there in the movie. It doesn't say anything about him in the preview. Or
I was surprised to see him.
Or it doesn't even have him on like the actors' names on Netflix. Probably a big mistake on Netflix part, but they wanted it to be a surprise. So we're wrecking it for you because he's in the movie, but he does an awesome job. and I about pissed my pants. He was so fucking funny.
So fucking funny, man.
And
and
I don't even want to. I don't even want to say some of the things about how good his part is, because I feel like it's going to tell you more about it than I want you to know, or than you would want to know. But I just have fun with it. It's a fun movie.
With the shows that we've talked about and stuff, if you haven't seen Always Be My Maybe on Facebook, put that at the top of your list.
On Facebook, it's on Netflix.
Or Netflix. Sorry,
Yeah.
on Netflix. Put that at the top of your list. It's, you can watch it like a romantic comedy. It's not really a romantic comedy per se.
You know what it reminded me of? Spanglish. Do you remember Spanglish?
I never saw that.
Oh, it's really good too. It's a romantic comedy, but it's kind of like a more seriouser. And me speak good English. It's a more serious romantic comedy. I really enjoyed it. Actually, after I watched that, I thought, and partially because it also had that cultural component as well. Yeah. I mean, it was about I don't even remember if she was. I don't remember that much about. Actually, I think she was Mexican, but she could have been from Guatemala. I have said don't know, but somewhere southy.
We don't give a fuck.
And she. She like works as a maid, and then it's really interesting. It's Adam Sandler's in it. Totally serious role for him, even though it's a comedy. In Spanglish, he's not. It's not. The show is funny, but it's not Happy Gilmore funny. It has nothing. It's not stupid. He's a very serious role in this comedy.
So Always Be My Maybe. And let us know what you think, because we both fucking thought it was hilarious. Everybody that I've talked to that's seen it thought it was fucking hilarious. I haven't talked to anybody that didn't like it.
And like it's not hilarious.
I thought it was hilarious.
I laughed my ass off.
I laughed more in that than I have in. I don't remember the last time last movie that I laughed that much at.
There's definitely a difference between a comedy though, and then like, and I hate even the word romantic comedy. But I typically don't like comedies. I don't like fucking, like, stupid for stupid's sake.
Sure.
Is there a comedy drama? A dramedy? Something to that extent. I mean, it was more of a drama that had some really funny parts.
I consider it a comedy, just not a fucking dumbass comedy.
Yeah, I don't know. There's not enough categories for comedies, I guess. But
True.
I did really like it. Thanks for the recommendation. I was like, it didn't look interesting at all.
I saw a fun action movie on Netflix.
You did?
What's his name? Mark Wahlberg.
Oh, I typically like Mark Wahlberg. He's one of my favorite ones. Go ahead, though. Tell me about that.
Now I can't think of the name of it. But it's on. It's pretty new. It's on Netflix. Pretty new, like just like a week or two old. And it was pretty damn good. It wasn't great. But I'm really tough on action movies because so many of them just totally fucking insult your intelligence, and you just have to really shut your fucking brain off to enjoy a lot of these things, like fucking Fast and Furious fucking 12 or whatever.
God,
like those are fucking horrible. No, I get it. I see like being able to suspend reality like that and stuff, and just like like I get that. Fuck, shut your brain off, whatever. This was way better than those. Wasn't, it didn't blow my mind. Obviously, I can't even think of the name of it, but it was pretty fucking good.
Well, what's the
one
on
Netflix
with Mark Wahlberg? It's pretty old now. It's got to be close to 20 years old. But where he was like a contract killer in kind of a group of contract killers, and they were always, he was kind of like he was in a relationship with this girl who's just a total bitch and like just running him down, and he's like a super nice guy. Oh my God, it was so good.
Man,
there's a scene in the beginning of it that I just loved where the 4 other guys are sending Mark Wahlberg in to basically do their job, and he's like, whatever. And then the guy Mark Wahlberg takes 2 bullets out, 2 9mm bullets out, and puts them in his ears. Right, and then goes into the room, and they don't even mention it. Like, it's not a thing that they even like bring up, but it's just like, dude, you ever shoot a pistol inside a house? It's fucking loud. So they were just trying to control that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, my phone. I don't know. I swear to God, I turned my ringer off, but my phone was ringing, so I must not have.
It
Damn,
is
I'm
you,
gonna
you
come up
fucker.
with the name of that movie for next time.
And
Really
I'm not
liked
going
it.
to come up. I'm going to totally forget that we talked about the new action movie with Mark Wahlberg in it. But it was pretty decent. If you like action movies, it's fun. I mean, it was just fun. It was like kick back and not fuck it. You know, like you don't. It wasn't a thinker. You know, it was just fun.
It's driving me nuts because the whole time like the plot of the movie, the old one, is that he's trying to return a movie rental to the and it's like Godzilla or something, and he's trying to return it to the rental store. That's the entire plot of the movie, and everything else, the killing and all that, that's just going on around that story. And he's having such a hell of a time getting that movie back. And yeah, it's pretty great. Lou Diamond Phillips is in it.
I'm sure I've seen it, but I'm drawing a blank.
It's one of Tharg. Yeah, like it would because it had a lot of really good gun stuff in it. It was like that one and Heat and Ronin. Those kind of like the top ones. Those are good
Which
movies.
Ronin, man, I know we've talked about this. I'm sure we've talked about this at one point on the show. Ronin, I consider the thinking man's action movie. If you haven't seen Ronin,
Heat as well. Those two are really good.
see, I didn't love Heat as much as I loved Ronin.
Yeah,
I need to watch Heat again and give it another chance.
Heat was like this. It was so smart. It was just so smart. It was just it was a little bit boring, but Ronin's not. Ronin's not boring. It's a good one.
Ronin is so goddamn good. Ugh. I mean, like a good mix of action and like intrigue. You know, it's really good.
Very good. All right. Sounds good. Well, you guys enjoy the lockdown, the quarantine, the corona, the 19, and
We're going to go lick some doorknobs.
yeah, sounds good.
Happy at the corner bar, had one foot on the floor. Talking to a bartender, showing a bottle of beer was made for. Half laughing a dirty joke, my kidneys cried no more. Peeled the label from my bottle and made a wish. So I stumbled to the bathroom, following that familiar stink. Like some kind of feral cat and it drowned him in a sink. Just finished pissing, my eyes focused on my name in fresh ink. Simply said, Gus can't catch a fish. Ooh, man, that's me. Oh, man, that's cruel. Damn, man, that's the meanest words I ever seen. I mean, I may be dumb, but I ain't that kind of fool. The first time my name's a shame with some sort of profanity, or questions of my mother's virtue or my sexuality. Even see my caricature engaged in bestiality, but no one's ever dared to group words like this. I might waste a few shells on a mud hen or a stray duck, even scared the hell out of a trophy 12-point buck. When it comes to women, I'm first to admit I'm shit out of luck, but who the hell can say I can't catch a fish? Oh, man, that's me. Oh, man, that's cruel. Damn, man, that's the meanest words I ever seen. I may be dumb, but I ain't that kind of fool. Broke my share, 10-pound test. My tackle box will be a stink bait mess. Don't catch muskies, cause I like sunfish pests. That don't mean I can't catch a fish. I'm about to show you how I land a fist. Just like casting, it's on the wrist. How about we have ourselves a little contest and we'll see who can catch a fish, cuz oh